Let's Talk IT from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear our hosts, Naeem Richardson and Janiqua Esdale, speak about different aspects of social media, technology, and STEM advancements in youth. Tune in, ask questions, and let's talk IT. Brought to you by the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association.
Hey, how was your day? Glad you could join us today. We got it with no time to play, with no time to wait, so we're gonna keep up the pace. Hey, most likely, y'all don't know about IT. I mean, like, most of the old folks, they don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, okay, hey, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, alright, ooh,
We're gonna keep it lively.
Okay.
Learning here
Yeah.
is likely.
Hey.
When we're talking IT. IT.
yeah, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
Know your computers, this for the viewers.
Today we're talking IT.
We are the tutors, we got the humor, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
okay.
Learning here is likely.
Learn to hear is likely, so let's start IT.
Hey, hey, welcome back to Let's Talk IT. I'm your host, Eva Williams, and it's been a while since we, hop back on here to, give you the information of all things. As our host today is Dr. Neil, online with us. Is Dr. Neil, are you there?
I'm the guest, you're the host.
Oh my God, I keep on doing it. I'm still working on it. My apologies, everyone. But yes, how you been? How you been, Dr. Neil? Iron
Well,
Man.
I've
I'm
been
second.
fine so far. Good so far. Just want to say thanks for WinFM to have us here. I want to shout out the listening audience who look forward for Let's Talk IT. A few persons met me in Nevis and they were saying, we haven't heard the show for a while. So I said that we're actually here. Actually here.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes, we have to step back a bit and then we come back again. So yeah.
That's great.
But I'm doing fine so far.
That's great to hear, Dr. Neil. That's the second time I called Dr. Neil the hostess. Wow. I'm still working. I'm still new to all of this, so my apologies, everyone. But yes, I am the host of the show. So, last time we have spoken was about get into Canada for education and stuff like that, and you heard from one of the immigration officers that was helping students to get into Canada for study and stuff like that. And I know a lot of you got a lot of available information from that, and I hope that it helped y'all to see Canada as for education purposes as a great way to explore that area. Doctor, you would like to say anything about that?
Well, I wasn't here at the last show,
Yeah.
but I heard that it was very, very informative. You guys had a guest from Canada, right?
Yes, we did.
I was talking about. Well, that is actually excellent. I think that's a great thing. We always need to have relationship with other countries and other persons around. As a matter of fact, we tend to have a good relationship from CFBCN with Canada. So a number of our students would have been in Canada, studying and so forth. A lot of IT students, as a matter of fact, is in Canada. So when I heard about the fact that someone was on, a recruiter was on, and he was giving some very good information, I thought that was actually great. That was actually great.
It was.
Which just a question, which university the recruiter was from? Or is general?
It's general. It's general.
Oh, general.
Yeah, it was general.
Okay. I think that's a good thing.
It is. It's
That's an excellent thing. Excellent thing. There's always a need for persons to come in and get people settled in school. I remember when I went to college, I had to find my own way. So to have someone come on the show and was actually talking about it. I think Sanjeev hosts that show, right? He hosts that
Yes, Sanjeev hosts that show. I
show.
think
Right,
he said that's his final show, hopefully. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sanjeev will be leaving us soon.
Yeah, he really
He's going to
is.
school, going to travel. So for the listeners out there who's always asking me about Sanjeev and what Sanjeev is doing and so forth, Sanjeev is still here. He's still here, but he's getting ready to go to university.
Yes, he
Right.
is.
Likewise, so many of our SKNRA members who are graduated from CFPC, a lot of them are getting ready to actually travel overseas to further their studies. And I could just go on and on about that somewhere, but let me give you, sir, your space.
So.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to speak on today is about IT in our generation, meaning in our. Okay, we're gonna talk about education for IT for Sankits and use or in general. Doctor, would you like to start it off?
Okay, so I think the focus of this show is actually looking at what is happening now.
Yes.
And this is not a political show, let me say, in terms of we are promoting any political party. No. This show is actually the show that focuses on tech, IT, tech. All right, so we talk about technology, what is happening in the world, what's going on overseas, how we are leveraging that, what are the things that we can do, what the association is doing in responding to some of the things that we think that we should get involved in, right? But let me set the foundation first. I think when we first started this show, I think when we first started the show, if you could go back in the archive, you would have heard me mention about cyber independence. I'm not sure if you remember. No, you wouldn't have been here.
No, I wasn't here when it started.
So it would be like Shaki Benjamin, who's the director for SKNRA, and it would be Sanjeev. I think we had a few persons here at the time. And so we started out talking about cyber independence. Well, I started out I'm talking about that. And I think it's something that should still be talked about, and I'm going to define and explain what I mean when I say cyber independence. Because if you should Google cyber independence, something is going to pop up that gives you some kind of information. But I want to kind of pivot off that. Okay. So we spoke about cyber independence, and if you should go online with a Google, I know everybody check Google these days. So as soon as they say something, Google it. So the phrase "Google it" has become a way of getting to the dictionary, right, to find out what is he talking about, what is actually going on, and I'm hoping that our listeners, can call in. You're free to call in and ask any questions and so forth as we discuss the topics that we have. The first one I have is cyber independence. But if you should check online, and I'm sure probably, not sure everyone would have seen it before, but if you check online, you will see what is called a Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace. All right. Yeah. And that particular paper, that particular academic paper, is an academic research paper that was actually published around 1990. I think it was published around 1996. And by a gentleman by the name of John Perry. All right. So but the whole idea regarding cyber independence is, and as a matter of fact, the paper was titled "Independence of Cyberspace." Let me say that. So, right, independence of cyberspace. So, and the whole context for that is actually the whole context for the paper is actually. Is to urge government agencies, firm decision makers to ensure that the internet is a space where young people can be creative, they can actually express themselves, they can get into development, research, and that is the whole context and idea behind the independence of cyberspace. So let me say it like that, independence of cyberspace, right? However, my focus will be on what we call cyber independence, right? Yeah. So it sounds like it's the same thing, but I'm gonna put a twist to it and match it back to what we want to achieve here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so the whole context of independence of cyberspace means that it should be a space where it is free, where young people can grow, they can experiment, and see how they can come up with context with things that can solve problem. All right. Mm-hmm. And so reading the paper and looking on the title of that paper again, it caused me to actually ask myself a few questions for us here within St. Kitts and Nevis. Are we doing enough to actually ensure that businesses, companies are formed by young people, and so forth, especially in the tech industry? All right. Mm-hmm. So I asked myself a few questions, and I think that no matter how much we're doing, there's still much more to be done. Right? Mm-hmm. There's always still much more to be done. All right. And so I sat down, from the first show that we had, and I looked more on what we call cyber independence for us here within St. Kitts and Nevis. And what I mean by cyber independence, it means that we here should be focusing on providing a space, right? Providing a space and provide the necessary guidelines and framework to ensure that young people can start internet companies, right? Yeah. Internet-based companies. And once we form internet-based companies, right, then now whenever, for example, if the government wants to do something or get something done, they can actually reach out to these agencies to actually help to develop something or to create something for a particular reason. All right. So I feel, along with a number of members within the association, that it is something that we should talk about more. We should talk about the fact that we need to encourage more young people to actually look into the whole idea of forming internet-based businesses. All right, because if you think about it, if for persons who are running businesses which require them to have a physical location, they have to pay rent. Pay these exorbitant rent. One time I heard that I think some persons are paying $12,000 and $15,000 per month for rent, to rent spaces. Some people probably 4 and so forth. But for persons who are operating online, or for persons who actually would have been online businesses, they don't really have to worry about that cost, right? For the most part. Yeah. They're focused on just hosting fees. Probably if you have private server, you need that kind of fee. So the focus is on that. So a lot of businesses have actually capitalized on the whole concept of ensuring that they maximize productivity by actually move some of their services online. And what I'm saying here in context is that I want St. Kitts and Nevis to be a place where we have a number of businesses coming out, which is internet-based, all right? Mm-hmm. Internet-based, and it is encouraged, meaning that once a young person from St. Kitts and Nevis apply for a business license, and that is examined and it's looked at, and the whole tech responses, is there, then it is encouraged. Right? It is encouraged, because there are a lot of young people who I know would have tried to start a business and they have some difficulty because their businesses are new, right? Someone new, meaning, when I say new, meaning new to those persons who give the go ahead, because it's a internet-based, business. And so it is different from the norm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
So I want more encouragement, from everybody, from the decision makers, where tech businesses are concerned. Because if you think about it, if we want to form here in St. Kitts and Nevis a Silicon Valley, because I hear that word turn around a lot, the Silicon Valley, if we really want to have that, we have to encourage tech businesses. All right, so let me hand over back to you for a while, and then I'll continue.
So involving that, meaning that for students or people that are multi-interest, like want to get more into the tech area, especially when it comes to online, would it require, it will require service and service for for the company to have like a hold down, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I didn't hear that. Have a
Like a structure, like something to keep it going.
Well, every business generally has to have a structure. For example, you do have online businesses that exist. For example, LMS. We do have, well, there's one called IITAE, which is actually an online-based business, primarily. So it provides a space for persons who want to learn content, or for teachers who want to host their content on, so that in itself would actually be a space where persons can share data, information back and forth, and that in itself becomes a business.
That's true.
All right, but what I'm saying is that I would like to see, right, within St. Kitts and Nevis, more businesses online, operating online, and also new innovative ideas operating online. And the reason why I'm saying that is that we have the entire world, right? It's the whole world, right? It's the whole world. And so you want to reach as many people as possible to be a part of your organization.
So I got a question. All right, for a person that just started the business online and wants to, expand it to, let's say, to the Caribbean first before, and expand it to more depending on how the business grow, what would you think the best solution for this person to grow their website or their business?
Well, if somebody's going to grow a business, I would want to, well, I am in tech, so I'm going to say, if you have a business, you must have a website, right? You should have that. That should be 101, right? If you have a business, you try to get a website done, or you try to do a site. Now, I believe that Google offer free hosting and free services in actually creating sites. They do offer that, so persons can actually create their sites, or persons can actually go online and search for different agencies that provide you with some kind of templates, if you want to do it like that. Or again, you want to reach out to a professional to actually create a site for you. But it's important that if you're running a business, right, especially in this day and age, you must have a website, all right, a website that showcase. So businesses who want to be seen internationally, you want to have a site, all right? And that site, we can talk about what are some of the important things for you to have on that site, because you definitely need to have some kind of agreement where once persons come on the site, they agree, to the terms and conditions, and then after that, they can browse as many pages as they want to browse. But so companies need to have a site. Now, after you have a site, then you need to make sure the site is actually promoted. So you can get your social media. You have a number of social media these days that you can go on and actually create a business page on social media. All right. And even for those persons who do not have a website as yet, you can create a business page on any social media. But it's important for you to have your site and you own your site. All right. And that is why I mentioned cyber independence. You own it. So make sure you are the owner for that site. So make sure once the site is handed over to you, all the material, all the documentation, all the files, folders, they are all handed over to you because you are the owner. So business can actually expand by creating sites.
That okay, let me see if I could start this off so it doesn't, it's reasonable. You have, like, there's certain situations where you have some companies partnership with other companies and make it in one to grow their, let's say, to grow or to build, so it's more out there. And would that impact the, I might sound off, but I'm trying to put it in a way.
Yeah, but right, it doesn't matter.
Would it impact the agreement between the two companies since they're gonna put it in one, or they have to reset it and try to equalize it?
But I'm not sure if I'm going to answer the question correctly. But are you saying something along the line of companies, merging together?
Yeah, merging.
Okay, companies merge together. Well, that's always a good thing for companies to actually merge. Merge together. Nothing's wrong with them merging, right? And I do not want to stray away from cyber independence.
Okay.
So, nothing's wrong with companies form relationships with each other, but you want to ensure that the relationship that you form with another company, it is clear, you understand clearly what the terms are. All right. So before you sign on anything, you understand clearly what the terms are. And I'm glad I asked that question because one of our member, should have started her company, and her company is a small business growing, and another agency called, a bigger agency called, and asked that small company, to join to provide a service, right? And so the smaller company, and I'm talking in quotes now, so the smaller company called me and asked me if it's a good idea. So I said, sure, it's a good idea. Just ensure that you read through the agreements and make sure you're comfortable with the terms. And once you're comfortable with the terms, then you can actually go ahead and sign. And in some cases, you can get a lawyer involved to actually make sure. So making relationships with different agencies is always good. But there's one thing I want to encourage our listeners, especially young people who listen to the show, right? Who are innovative, who want to put their foot in the tech space, right? Do not be afraid to start a concept. All right. Do not be afraid to start an idea. Do not be afraid to do it. Just do it. All right. Just do it. Because the reason why I'm saying that, if you talk to a lot of adults now, right, they will say to you that they can't believe they are at the age that they're at now. Then they're gonna say, I can't believe, oh my God, time moves so fast, right? So for the young people out there who are listening, right? If you have any business idea, any tech business idea, any business idea, right? Do not procrastinate on it, right? Do not think about how much money I need to get the business done. Do not think about how it's going to work and that kind of. No. Just make the first step. Just make the first step, right? Because you need that experience. You need to build that kind of experience, right? And especially to, some of the young people out there who try to do something and person, discourage them, say to them, hey, it don't make any sense you do that, you waste your time, and that. No, do not listen to all those noise. You just go ahead and make a step, right? Because that is actually important.
Yes,
I
it
don't want
is.
to preach too much.
That's saying too much. Yes, but it is the best thing to do if you have an idea is to put your idea out there, no matter if somebody give you negativity about it. As I said, once you have faith in what you're doing, anything is possible.
Yeah, it's possible, go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's because I've seen a lot of talented young people, a lot of them, talented, highly skilled. I know them, I see them, and they discuss the things that they want to do, right? The things that they want to build and the things that they want to create. And I realize that after a while, it remains dormant, like nothing is happening. Like, and you wonder what's going on, right? And then when you get to talk to them, like you ask them, so what happened? Then you realize that they didn't have enough encouragement around them and so forth, and as a result of that, they just relax, and take it easy. Or I remember one where someone told me, hey, well, Mr. Neil, somebody stole the idea and they start and they start the thing and they start to do it. And then probably about a year after I saw the person and I asked him, the person who stole the idea, is it still going? He said, no, the person stopped. So I said, you see what happened? You should have still continued yours. All right. So if you have any concept, any idea, right, do not stop. Do not say to yourself, hey, this person, well, do not say, well, people are saying that it's not going to work, or, do not, persevere with it. And when I say persevere, I mean, keep on at it, keep on at it, keep on at it, right? Keep on at it. I've always believed in, young persons who want to start businesses and companies and all these things, even though the ideas sound ridiculous and it sounds like it's not going to work, right? Go at it still, right? Go at it still. Do not sit there and say, oh, this person do not support it, and my best friend do not think that is something good for me to do. No. You move at it, right? You move at it, and then you'll find that even if you move at it and you fail. So let's say you fail, you start and you fail at it, you can go at it again, and that is going to teach you. Right, the first time you fail is going to teach you, okay, what are the things that I need to fix? All right, and then when you go at it again, you see another thing that you need to fix, and another thing you need to fix, and then you keep on refining. And sometimes you find that the original idea that you had, that you were going on with, because of going through all that motion of failure, fix, you actually identify a solution to a problem through that failure, pass. You identify something and you can actually make that into a business, right? And that is where, again, research and development is very, very important. R&D, very, very important.
It is very important.
Talk about R&D for the entire show. That is
Well, yeah, as you keep on trying, doing it back over, finding out the part that you messed up, you're technically speaking, like you're homing it in your ideal, making it something bigger and more creative, because your idea is keep on building and growing, and no matter how many times you fail at it, as you will see benefits and an achievement involving in that plan or idea that you have. So no matter if somebody, this is one thing when it comes to people telling you, oh, don't do this, don't do that, and the thing is with that, they don't know how important it is to you if you're trying to start your business as well. It's just gonna say, oh, maybe they're gonna tell you it's always a waste of time. But sometimes if they give you the idea it's a waste of time and you ignore that and do it, there's a chance that it would actually benefit you in the long run. So
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes person will tell you, and we kind of on a different topic, right? Kind of, but sometimes person will say to you, "Do not do something," and then they go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're there saying, "You know what? Oh boy, they said, uh, excuse me, they said, boy, I'm not supposed to do this, and so it might not work. So I'm not going to do it." While the person who would have discouraged you, they themselves take up the idea and run the idea, right?
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, it is not good to even tell a lot of people your ideas, right? So you keep your ideas, to yourself. Some people
Private.
have some person they can trust, but you keep your ideas and you work on it and you work on it and work on it. But seeking approval from a lot of, especially as a young person, whether you're in high school or you're in college or you're just a normal man on the street side trying to figure out a way how to make more money, right? You will end up with people around you who will say to you, "Do not do this," right? And sometimes some of the people who actually discourage you are persons who you either used to look up to them, or these are people you expect to actually encourage you some more and so forth. So for young people out there who are listening, listen to me. If you have an idea, especially a business idea, and you know deep within yourself that this is something that you want, you go after it. You go after it, and then you seek the necessary help from persons who are in that space and ask them questions, and so forth. Because that is how you actually learn. That's how you learn. The whole concept of learning, and let me explain, right? The whole concept of learning is not the idea that you pass every time, right? No, it's not the idea that you pass every single time. The concept of learning is that you fail and you see where you fail, say, okay, and then you fix it and you go at it again, right? That is how you actually become great, right? By each time you fail, you continue. So even when people are saying this and they're saying that you're focused, you set on your goal, you might fall off the track a little bit, but you come back and you focus on the goal, you keep on going at it and keep on going at it, and you keep on going at it. As a matter of fact, let me give you a little story, right? I hope the listening audience is not bored at this point. But when I was in high school, right? I remember I was doing technical drawing, and there was a guy in the class, and he wasn't that good, and I was good at it. I was good at the technical drawing. I was getting it done, and he was struggling, right? His father was my science teacher, right? And so I don't know if he went home and tell his daddy that he's not doing well in TD and so forth, and I am doing well. I don't know, but something happened. Something was said. And so whenever I am at his science class, he would treat me like second class, right? So he would treat me some way, like, put me on the spot, like ask some question on the spot. And if I don't answer the questions, he, want to embarrass you in front of everybody and that kind of stuff. So I recognize that at first I didn't realize that was going on until I stopped one day and said, but wait, this thing is crazy. This thing is keep on going on, right? And so I remember doing my SBA, submitting the SBA. He was really hard on me with the SBA. I fixed it. And it was a back and forth story. So at one point, it was so bad that I was wondering, should I continue with the science, because he was really, really on my case. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it still. Right? So I would come to his class, I would sit at the back and get the work done, submit it. Sometimes he doesn't recognize, sometimes, so I had a situation. And I remember when it's time to sit the CXC exam for science, that was integrated science. He met me at the door about to go in the exam, and he said to me, where are you going? So I said, I'm here to sit the exam. He said, you are going to fail the exam. So I was like, why are you going to the exam? So like, what is wrong, right? I'm like, what's wrong with this man? And so he couldn't stop me, right? So I went in, I sat the exam, and I passed the exam, right? I sat the exam, I got my distinction, right? After the results would have come out, and I went to him a few weeks after, and I said to him, "Sir, good afternoon, sir. How are you?" I think I was just being petty at that point, as a young 16-year-old. I said, "Sir, I got a wall," and he was like, "Okay, yes, I heard, I saw it, right?"
I did something similar to that as well.
eh?
I did something similar to that as well. Yeah, I had a similar situation like that.
So I'm not here advocating that young people should do that. I'm just saying that whenever you have any kind of opposition, and this is something that that you're good at, something that can work, you can achieve, do not let opposition stop you, right? We need enough businesses, especially small businesses within St. Kitts and Nevis. We need them. And we not only need them, but we need them to actually strive. I'm striving, right? So we need to, make sure that we're at it until we get it right. All right? So that is actually important. So that is what happened to me when I was in high school at that time with that part of situation. So that would have taught me a big lesson going forward. It taught me, hey, keep on going at it, even when everybody says it's not going to work. All right. So I am here pushing the same message, the same narrative. If you are a young man, or if you are a girl, maybe you have a business concept and you want to do it, or you have an idea, you want to get it done, it can work. You actually pursue it. Do not think about winning the first time. Just go at it. If you want to learn code, right, to write an app, you want to build an app, you want to write develop a software that does certain tasks, right? Just go at it. Don't say, well, boy, there's a lot of things to learn. Do not think about it. Just start small, and slowly you will build.
Yeah. One more thing. On the other hand, is that, as we all should know, that one thing for sure is that things don't come easy. You have to thrive for it. You have to work for it. You have to put in the effort to get what you want. No matter if negativity hit you, just push that aside and say, this is what I want, and I'm going through it. You gotta work for it. You can't just sit down like, oh, done. Okay, you done fix. Don't work like that. You might could dream it. I mean, yeah, everybody dreamed for success, yeah. But at times, failure is gonna come your way. It's up to you to recreate that failure to success.
Question. So, have you ever had any failure that came your way?
Yes, I did.
So how did you handle it?
At first, I was in a down moment at time, and then someone spoke to me that gave me the idea of willing to thrive for what I want. And I pushed past, I did push past my limits to get this thing done. And at the end of the day, it was worth it in the end. Like, it was literally worth it. I had to stay up all night to get this thing done. Not telling you to stay up all night. No, I mean, everybody needs rest. But for me, I had to stay up all night to get this done, because it is something that I will need to carry on to what I want. It's a part of my goal, my pathway. And if I just give up instantly, or it's like, yo, you know what, forget it, I'm go about my business, I'll be moving off course to what I want. So I had to stand up strong and say, no matter how much negativity, how much people bring me down about it, I'm going to work on it as hard as I can. I put in my effort, and I did it, and I get through it. I was like, yes, next thing off my shoulder.
Yeah, the whole concept, I think it is not anything new per se in terms of persons pursuing, but I think it's important, as we're talking about this, that there's a lot of young people out there now, right throughout the Caribbean region. And I'm going to speak about the Caribbean region right now. I know we have overseas listeners, but a lot of young people right now through the Caribbean region, they have ideas, and and sometimes the very school system doesn't really facilitate the kind of idea that these young people have, right? We have geniuses in schools right now who are struggling. That sounds weird, right? A genius is struggling, right? It just simply means that the person has a certain creative skill, right? Has a certain creative skill set, and him or her can't exercise it because there are restrictions.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that
And
was.
sometimes, and sometimes they don't have that, and because there are other restrictions, and probably, they're not much motivation out there.
Yeah.
They will stop and they decide, you know what, I'm not going to do this. Let me just leave it alone. And sometimes these young people grow up, they become business managers, they become, a worker in a company. And when you ask them about what idea did you have when you were young, coming up, that you felt passionate about, that right now you feel that you would do that differently, they will tell you, hey, these are the things that I was passionate about, and I just leave it alone. I never pursue it. And that's it, right? Because let me give you another situation here. At CFBC, when we just started to develop the IT program at CFBC, right? And the program began to strive, where we begin to have relationship with companies, and for internship, our capstone project begin to, blossom, and we find that we have the association born out of it and so forth. And a number of things started to actually happen, right? I would meet persons who are working in different companies, and they would say to me, I am a graduate from that IT program, but the things that you guys are doing now, I never got a chance to do it. Or they would say that weren't happening there at the time, but I had it in my mind. I really wanted to do this. And so I would say to them, so what actually stopped you? And they say, well, I'm not sure, right? So you see, what I'm saying is, if you have an idea, if you have a concept, do not sit on it. Move on it, right? Move on it. That is why SKNRA is about getting things done. It's about getting young people to be a part of events, and so forth, to actually exercise their skill set, the things that they actually wanted to do and they never get a chance to do it. We want to make, that kind of arena available for them to actually participate in. So if you have ideas, concept, do not sit on it. Do not sit and say, well, I'm waiting for somebody in Europe to design. I'm waiting for somebody in this to create this and this to create that. No, let it start home. You have the idea, right? Move on it. So let's say, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, I want to create an app, right? But I have no skill set to actually create an app. Not one skill set. I don't know, but I want to create this app because I know within myself that I could do it better. And it's a passion of mine, right? Hey, you can do it, right? Because of the age of technology and because of the Declaration of Independence for cyberspace, which is what we spoke about earlier, right? You can go online and you can search for tutorial, you can reach out to anyone for actually help, right? I know persons who are programmers today, right? And they are skilled programmer, highly skilled programmer than those who went to university to study for it. All right? No, I'm not saying you're not supposed to go to university. I'm just saying, right? You have persons out there who are passionate about something, and so they pursue that. They check resources, they check, all different libraries online, and they teach themselves, right, as certain concepts, and they become great at writing codes, and so forth. So if you have an idea, don't sit on it, but move on it.
Facts. The world is there.
So just something I remember, I remember meeting a student once, and he came to the college, and he said to me that I can write codes well, but the problem is I might fail the exam. And so he thought I would have been surprised. That, what? Where were you from? No, I was not surprised, because he was very good. He learned online different concepts, how to get around this. He learned how to do all different things. But some of the exams, and that is why the assessment that I give, whenever I'm assessing students, whether it's in the tertiary level or a part of a program that we're doing, I generally assess you not necessarily on the conventional skill sets, like define, list, explain, not necessarily that. I generally assess you on the principle of what you can do, all right, or how far you can go. So if I ask you to write a piece of code that will output pass or fail, let me use that as example, pass or fail, right? The result that I'm looking for is actually to see the code carry out the action, right? Mm-hmm. So I like to assess based on the principle of what is done or what would the action be. So not necessarily about the thing. So I think that assessment can come after, right? Especially whenever you're talking about development of science and technology and engineering and robotics, right? You're actually looking for what is done. For example, writing code to move an arm, right? Writing code to move an object from one point to another point, all right? So I generally like to assess from that. So I said to him, hey, do not worry, I understand what you're saying. So when I gave him the assessment to see what the result would be in terms of mechanical results, right? Functional results, which mean whatever code he writes should actually do something. He actually is that. But if I should give him an assessment to ask him, give me the name of the function that will cause a program to actually, loop. Or if I should ask that, he might not know, right? Or he might have an idea, but he's not sure because he was into, self-learning in terms of to get things done. And so once he was able to actually, figure out, once he was able to demonstrate to me that he was able to carry out certain tasks using the code, then we could, I just brush up on the other areas, what is the purpose for this and so forth along the line. But the core in my preview was there. The fact that you're able to get something to carry out an action. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of this. And we can actually have a whole show on that, right? Where the concept of teaching and learning and education has to change, and it has to evolve. It has to evolve to more along the line of demonstration. All right, because whenever something is demonstrated, you actually appreciate it more than if it is not demonstrated. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So if I'm teaching how to crimp RJ45 cables, right, or to crimp RJ45, on a cable. For those persons who are wondering, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Ethernet cable, the cable that plugs in your modem and in your computer system. Right, that is an Ethernet cable. So on both ends, we have RJ45, two object called RJ45, right? You can actually create that cable yourself. You don't even have to purchase it from any dealer. You can actually create the cable yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're able to demonstrate that you're able to create it, then now we can move to what the cable is called, the proper name. We can move to what are the RJ45 here for, because you're able to actually carry out the action. So I think that is very, very important when it comes down to teaching and learning.
It is very, I mean, even when you do it, making a cable or being creative with it, you can make it how long you want it or make it short how you want it. It depends on how you want to do it for your system. But putting it out there, it is very understanding when it comes to putting out your work and idea. For presenting or have a skill set of self-learning, it will come in very handy, especially if you're going into college or university. So you mean like gives you a heads up of what you're going to get in there.
Well, self-learning is important.
Yes.
I think that's very, very important. Self-learning is something that's important. Do not define education. And again, we can have a whole show on the concept of learning, the concept of learning, right? Because we have to dismiss certain thoughts, a certain belief that we have. One of the beliefs that we need to dismiss is the whole idea that somebody has to stand in front of me and show me on the board, or somebody has to write something on the board and say, this is it, for you to actually learn it. You have to get rid of that thought. All right?
Okay, you could guide yourself.
Especially in the age I live in.
Okay, you could guide yourself instead of
you can act, because a lot of information is out there. We're living in the age of information. That's the age we're living in, of information. If you type in Google right now, if you go to Google and type in how to create an app, right? You will see a bunch of results that is there. If you type in how to write codes in Python, all right? As a matter of fact, as I mentioned, writing codes in Python, we just got some RJ45. We just got some Raspberry Pi kits that we will be experimenting with. So, we'll be putting on some events or, bringing some young people to actually create and write codes on the Raspberry Pi kits, right? So, once you're passionate about something, right? Go and search, one search, just one search for the information. It's there. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I've met a lot of persons who want to do their own business and so forth, and they're afraid to ask questions. Ask questions. All right, and don't be afraid to fail.
Don't think it's the end of the world.
Nothing is wrong with failure. Don't be afraid to fail. You should listen. You should encourage. You should, if you fail, you should not feel as if the world has come to an end. No,
yes. Right? It's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. I would say no. It's not supposed to. You're not supposed to think like that.
Yeah, don't think like that. Get up and brush yourself up and you start again. All right? And you start again. And I can guarantee you that 3, 4, 5 years from now, you will not regret the fact that you get up and brush yourself up. All right? And you continue. And listen, I know persons who have been struggling with building up their business for 6 years, for 7 years, right? And I'm not going to tell them, well, it doesn't work, stop. No. Because sometimes it takes time, and for some persons in the process of building that business, you find that another business comes out of it that actually can fund the building of the original ones. You have so many avenues. But the anchor here is not to stop what you're doing, or not to get discouraged or feel as though, or accept the feeling that it's not going to materialize into anything. All right. No, you continue. I met this young lady who is selling the lip gloss thing, and she was saying that she's not sure she want to continue, but she's passionate about it. And I said to her, listen, go ahead, continue, go ahead, right? Continue. Who knows, right? You might find some other niche while you're pursuing that. All right, because you don't want to waste 5 years, 6 years, and then at the end of that 6 years or that 5 years, you say to yourself, you know what, I should have continued this thing, I should have continued.
You have regrets.
Yeah, right. There's a poem that says, the heights by great men, I'm gonna add women, heights of great men are reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, they were toiling upwards through the night, which means, essentially, while your competitors are relaxing, or while your friends are relaxing, or while this person, you are there at it, because you have a vision in mind, you have a goal in mind, you have something that you want to achieve in mind, and you are not stopping until you get that thing done. All right? So I'm saying, do not stop.
Never give up. Continue pushing. I said, never give up. Continue pushing.
Yeah, never give up. Continue pushing. That's something that is actually needed.
It's one thing I'll tell you is that no matter what you're doing, no matter what goal you have for your business or the idea that you want to create, or creating something new that nobody has created yet, there will always be a form of negativity coming towards you. But as I said, it's up to you to use that negativity as a way to push, to prove that it's to prove that anything is possible, no matter what. Change that negativity that you have of what you became of you, and it's put it on your work.
Yeah, if you look at all these major companies that is created, they did not, well, most of them did not just appear on the news.
Yeah.
It took somebody who is passionate about it, and the person know that this thing can work, and they know that this thing is actually something that is needed, and they are set to the T, right? That this thing must become something of great,
great value,
magnitude, right? Inventors would have, proven that. Developers would have proven that. There's some persons who actually own a construction firm, they were told that it would never work, but yet they did it. And there are persons who have created sites that is now dependent, that people depend on, who they were told that it would never become something important.
That's true.
But they did not stop. You know what? I know the time is winding down, but I saw an image of an Amazon with the founder sitting there with the image written on a paper right before it became Amazon, and he's at his computer there typing, right? And I found that very, very informative, because to see what it was then and what it is now is remarkable.
It was
right.
It was on a paper.
The infancy stage where a lot of people, did not believe in it, and now it is a great company, right? So that was actually remarkable. So I'm saying to all the young people out there, if you have an idea, if you have a concept, do not stop because somebody is discouraging you. Keep on at it.
You said that it started from a paper, his business started from a paper, and it grew to where it is right now, and that's Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon actually grew, and you have a number of agencies out there, and people can attest to a number of things that would have grown over time. All right, so that's what I want to say to the young people. I guess it's now 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So those are my final word, my words for now. But when we meet again, we're going to.
Yes, so for sure. When we meet again, we will continue our conversation about everything that could make you grow better and to don't study negativity no matter what it's ahead of you. So it's
Yeah, I guess that's something that we could talk about, some other time.
yeah, we can.
I think we're over
Yeah,
time.
we are really yeah, we are about to be out of
Yeah.
time right now. So I'm about to call our sponsors now, and yeah, I hope that y'all take all this information in. I mean, sometimes I know we kind of repeat ourselves in a certain matter, but we just giving our experience in our thoughts about putting out your own ideas out in the world. So so tune in every other Tuesday on 98.9 with FM to join us as we uncover the various realms within IT and STEAM. We also go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter at WINNMedia SKN. Let's Talk IT is also available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. To be updated on everything SKNRA, check out our social media, which are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, LinkedIn. At SKNRA, the Sankits and Nevis Robotics Association, and SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. To be updated on everything on IITA, check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at IITA or IITA LTD. Now, a big shout out to our sponsors. That's SKNRA, that's Sankits and Nevis Robotics Association, IATAE, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. I hope y'all enjoy our conversation about what we talk about today, and we see you on the next show.
So let's start IT.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your